I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight, we're going to do something we're going to start with Mr. Keyfaber. He's got something he'd like to read here.
Yeah, so if you've kept up with the news, we have Charles Martini passed away, and just to let you know, he was a school attorney for us for 50 years. And just interesting, it's all online and you can read all this, but just wanted to share a little bit. So he graduated from high school in 1947, and his plans were to attend Indiana Barber College. That was interesting. He had a quick detour to Ball State University, led to a degree in social studies and business education in 1951. From there, he served 2 years in the U.S. Army, and then he entered the School of Law at Indiana University in Bloomington, where he was the editor of the Indiana Law Review and a salutatorian of his graduating class. Pretty impressive. So in 1959, Charles, and I believe he goes by Chuck, moved to Wabash, where he opened his own law firm and immediately began making an impact upon the community. He was instrumental in the formation of the Metropolitan School District of Wabash County. He served as school board attorney for 50 years. And I also just wanted to mention that we have in our files or in our information here in our little library at MSD Wabash County. It says the Metropolitan School District of Wabash County, Indiana, MSD, July 1, 1959 to July 1st, 2009, the 50th anniversary, its formation and history, and it was written by Charles R. Teedy, attorney, June 1, 2009. So very interesting read about MSD of Wabash and the formation of that. And so obviously we want to thank him and in memory of him for everything. And I think now we're going to do it.
I'd like to have a moment of silence for him. Thank you. Okay, so we'll move on then with our regular scheduled meeting. Future board meetings, August 23rd, September 13th, and September 27th, all here at 6 p.m. There aren't really any revisions of the agenda except for under the human resources. Recognition. Under public recognition, we have a recommendation to approve the $275 donation from the cheer camp sponsors. And I don't have to get that attachment with the cheer camp sponsors. So I don't have that on my list. So we'll make sure that we put them online because I don't have them. There's a fairly large contingent of those in total. Also, we have a recommendation to approve a $3,576 donation from volleyball sponsors, which is also a large contingent of people that I need to be reading, but don't have that list.
Well, let me
So I apologize. Okay. And that's for the from the volleyball sponsors for the Northfield High School.
Oh, thank you. If you don't mind, so. Paper.
Okay. All right, the Northfield Cheer Camp donations. Salon 135, Bailey's Pizza Parlor, Lynn's Restaurant, Wabash County Casa, the Walt family, Hannah Ollinger, Melissa Martin, Amy Holmes, Abby Rhodes, and Sarah Myers. For the Northfield Volleyball sponsors, this is a little bit longer, but that is Andrea Weevil, Nickham Consulting, Catherine Baker, Tony Hoover, I always pronounced her name wrong, Lakila, sorry, Hunter, Jennifer Drancic, William Watson, Tanya Hoppus, Monica Kuhn, Tiffany Stitt, Andrea Burke, Theron Sluss, Troy Bear, Deb Schenkel, JoJo's Olfactory, Shannon Schreider, Mitch Snyder, Tresca Brothers Excavating, Indiana RV Rental and Sale, Michelle Reaver, Scott Hopper, Hoosier Chiropractic, Southside Supply, Gaunt and Son, Gebhardt Holdings, Huntington University, McKillop Seeds, First Federal Savings Bank, Brainerd Snow Removal, Wabash County Sheriff's Department, Hoffman's Nursery and Landscaping, Han Custom Services, Fort Wayne Reinforcing, Inc., Andrew Rice, Max Tan, and First Farmers Bank and Trust. So we have a lot of people who are interested in making sure that our students are being able to do the things that they want to be able to do in their extracurricular activities. So those are the donations. And so at this point, we just need to accept those.
Finally, motion to approve that.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the donations. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, school recognition.
Yes, I do have one, even though school has not started for our traditional schools, but Angela Dunn, she is in charge of the Wabash CASA, and she actually just sent to our mailbox, just our general mailbox at MSD, basically a recognition that she wanted to share. So I'll just read that. Angela Dunn shared that the Wabash CASA held their annual Back to School Bash. She said that they served 330 kids, and of those 330 kids, 97 were from MSD School District. Angela also shared that they appreciate Coach Haley Zolman for sharing the junior high and high school cheerleaders in helping out in this event. The support from them was awesome. So appreciate Haley and the junior high and high school cheerleaders. And that's actually from Northville. So I thought that was a very nice thing that she wanted to recognize them. That's all I had, though.
Okay. So moving on to the public comment for agenda items only. All right, we passed that. We'll go to the consent agenda items. First up is the approval of our minutes from the last meeting.
Move to approve those minutes. Second.
Motion and second to approve the minutes from our meeting on July 26th. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, claims.
I have no questions. I'll move to approve. You okay, Matt?
Young good. Second.
Motion and second to approve the claims. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Payroll.
Nothing to really address with payroll.
I move the payroll.
Second.
Motion and second to approve payroll. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Financial summary.
I just have a couple things to address. Just the first thing is the end of the month statement for July. So there shows you the fund balances for each of the funds at the end of July. Things are still looking good and heading in the right direction. Nothing that stands out on any of those at this point.
Questions on it? All right, we'll run on to the budget review.
Budget review. The second thing is then the budget estimate. This is the last fund that we have to present a budget for as far as to the DLGF is concerned. So this is the education fund. We'll talk a little bit more about finalizing, bringing in all those budgets and finalizing those in the next couple board meetings. But this, like I said, is the education fund. You see on the far right-hand column, that's what our budget was for the calendar year of 2022. And then next to it on the left-hand side is then the proposed advertised budget for 2023. The main differences there is to allocate or appropriate for the salary increases in the classified staff, and then any potential salary increases that we would have in the certified teaching staff. Obviously, we won't know those until we go through negotiations in the fall, but we always want to make sure that we allocate and prepare for that as well. So that's where the increased differences would land. The only thing to bring up there is I kind of made a note off to the side was the transfers. We don't actually allocate that in the budget because it's not considered an expense. However, it is reported as an expense, but that is reported in our DLGF statements in another form. So I just wanted to show you what that amount would be estimated at.
That's the estimated amount, Chris, for the coming year, 23.
Yeah. And we always do a resolution in January that gives us a max, so that would be the max amount, more than likely. And we do it on a monthly basis, and so we would do a resolution for those transfers in January.
Quick question. The preschool has the biggest jump in salaries. How many preschool classes are we running now? Exactly.
So I know we've added a fourth grade class, or 4-year-old classroom at Southwood, and we've added a 3-year-old classroom at Metro North.
Just 1, 3, 4.
Now they have 2.
2, 3-year-olds, okay.
So is there 2 teachers in each one? Or like a?
There's a teacher and an aide.
Yeah.
Because they have to have a
The
ratio.
ratios have to be
Yeah.
there.
1 to 8.
So how many kids are they putting in those classes?
18?
18. So that would be 2 4-year-olds at Southwood and 1 3-year-old at Southwood. And that is it 3 4-year-olds?
3 4-year-olds, 2
And 2 3-year-olds at Metro North.
So there's 8.
I'm curious about that topic. Did we have wait lists?
We still need to have a few
Length
wait
to
lists,
it,
yes.
mostly on the 4-year-olds, not the 3-year-olds.
We had the wait list on the 3-year-olds on the north side. That's
We-
why
we
we
added
added
that.
that
We got enough to
position.
add.
And then we had the 4-year-old side on Southwood, and that's why we added that position.
There's still
There's still a waiting list though. Yeah. For all of those rooms, they all have wait lists. I went by that parking lot, I'm not sure. That was packed.
That was around 4:30, and they were waiting at the door about 20 after.
They're out on the road, in the yards. That was just.
Well, that wasn't even preschool, because they
They had their,
they had
theirs
theirs
last night.
They had theirs last night, so that was just kindergarten through 2nd grade.
We gotta have, need to add some parking spaces.
It's a good thing they don't drive you.
No, I was
trying to take a real test.
take a sprayer down the road and they were on the road. It's like,
And they're all probably going, we could pull into the school going for that sprayer.
You would rather have a sprayer.
So we'll bring these all together in the next couple board meetings and probably have our budget hearing in that first board meeting in September. So I'll start doing some advertisements for that type of stuff. Pretty
Tell-
soon.
Always appreciate it, Chris, you're on the front end of the curve of all this.
Yes.
Time for change.
That's all I have.
All right, then, we'll move on to personnel. Under personnel, under resignations, we have Lisa Hazlett, data technology assistant at the central office. Brenda Carey, English teacher at Northville High School. Beth Weitzel, director of health services for all the schools. Tiffany Klepper, bus driver south. Patsy Arwood, bus driver for the south. Under employment, we have Tiffany Rebolts, paraprofessional at Southwood Elementary. Danielle Whiteman, paraprofessional at Metro North. Diane White, bus aide for all the schools. Lisa Schaff, paraprofessional at Southwood Elementary. Nikki Neely, paraprofessional at Southwood Elementary. Cheryl Allshafer, bus aide for all schools. And Katie Singleton, long-term sub at Northfield High School. Dan Snyder, PE teacher at Southwood High School. Catherine Lyons, cook at Metro North Elementary. Alex Miracle, bus driver for South. Carlos Delgado, paraprofessional at Northville High School. Sharon Weaver, paraprofessional for Metro North Elementary. Jason Lyons, robotics coach at Northville High School. Sherm Gray, robotics coach at Northville High School. Matt Hodson, junior high robotics coach at Northville. Under transfers, we have Melissa Metz, going from the Metro North Elementary cook, transferring to paraprofessional at Sharp Creek. Ava Simpson, transferring from cook at Southwood Elementary to paraprofessional at Southwood Elementary. And Carrie Johnson, transferring from business teacher at Southwood High School to the assistant principal at Southwood High School. Under coaches, these are all for Northfield and all for the 2022-2023 season. Head cheer is Haley Zolman. Head cross country, Andrea Beeks. Assistant cross country, Kelly Beaver and Eric Kirtland. Kevin Lemming, junior high cross country. Brandon Baker, head football. Eric Weichel, junior JV football. Stan Cox, assistant football, and Jeff Campus, assistant football, along with Tori Schaefer, Evan Harris, Micah Higgins, and Austin Barker as assistant football, and Joseph Mitchell as assistant football. Matt Burkhart, junior high football. Jim Curry, junior high football. Joe Halderman, junior high football. Cody McClure, head girls golf. Shelley Myers, assistant volleyball. Tony McKillop, junior varsity volleyball. Christy Thompson, assistant volleyball. Alyssa Spann, 8th grade volleyball, and Tiffany Livesay, 7th grade volleyball. And these are the coaches for Southwood High School, all for this coming school year. Danielle Stauffer, varsity cheer. Christian Perry, varsity boys basketball. Corey Blocker, varsity baseball. Jay Wyatt, assistant football. Jonathan Collins, assistant cross country, and Gabby Wagner, junior varsity cheer. That is the complete.
I move the HR swing.
Second.
Motion and second to approve HR as read. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Heartland Career Center report. Matt, you got anything?
I have nothing tonight.
All right. Superintendent's report, Mr. Keyfaber.
Yeah, just have a couple of things. First of all, for those of you that are on Facebook, you probably noticed that our first day with our staff, mainly our certified staff, was yesterday. Chris actually saw a information about, what's it look like when you have all of your alumni who are teaching for you. And so if you look at this picture, would be alumni of both Northwood and Southwood, mainly teachers, but again, we have a nurse, we have tech, we have communications director, bus driver. Those certified or those classified staff are not necessarily required to be there. They're not on contract, but they are always welcome. So we still have a lot of different people. So it's kind of interesting. There's like 74, 75 people there. You think about our staff of 340, all of our staff. That does not include coaches or substitute teachers. But if you look at teachers, about 130 or 127 teachers, there are a lot of people. And so a lot of times we look at, how we grow our own as far as that goes. So it speaks highly of the people that want to come back and go along with what our mission is, inspiring a community of learners to discover and achieve our passion and potential. So it's interesting. Someone along the way inspired them to become a teacher, and then obviously they've come back. So that's just really pretty neat. So, and there are a lot of people that are not in there. There's kind of a contest going on right now. I think the Northfield class of 1999, they had 6 people that, what year you graduated? 92, that's right. Okay, so but 1999, there were 6 people, but then they found another one that graduated. And so there's kind of a competition or a challenge to see who has the most. But right now, I think it is probably the class at Northfield 1999 of 7 staff members right now, but I think some people are trying to figure things out. I did tell them I have a little bit more of an advantage because I may just start hiring all the people from my class so I can win that, so, but you have to prove that, so, but anyway, so. So that's that, just wanted to share that, it's really neat though. Had a good morning yesterday, with that, the Northfield, you know, we flip-flop each year, but Northfield, the food service director, Amanda did a great job getting breakfast for us, and we had a good morning. So that's that. Just want to share the renderings of what the new high school could look like. It's been shared a lot, but yet some of the people that possibly might be online maybe have not seen these, so just kind of go through a few of them real quickly. It's kind of interesting. Obviously, we know that this was done just for MSD because if you scroll in here a little bit, it will, MSD leads county grad rates. It's kind of interesting they put that on the board there. It's pretty neat how they did that. You can see the cafeteria, auditorium. I did tell the teachers though yesterday when we showed this too, that in the classroom you have to walk real fast. That's why they're worried. So it's that little commons area. This is something that wasn't given the first time they did these, but this would be, you can see where it's the 2-story. You can see the hallway. You can see where they said the architect said that there's a lot of schools now being built where you have the stairway, but yet in the middle, it's a place where, you know, kids hang out. So when they can, another picture of about the same thing. That looks good. So I do want to say that there are, you know, a lot of opinions about designs and about other things about the project, but, you know, I will say that I'm very appreciative of the time that's been invested so far in developing a 5-year strategic plan, which resulted into this proposed project. And so we continue to share information, and we'll update our website, we'll update our social media, and I just feel very fortunate to be a part of a school district that is looking to make us more efficient, so we can provide, you know, more opportunities for our students and for our staff. So again, just appreciate that, and we will continue to work on looking at this project. So that's all I have though for that.
You might have trouble getting people from your class hired because they're all wanting to retire now.
Well, I did say something about that yes, I'm old, and so that is exactly right. Thank you for reminding me of that, Mr. Daisy.
Who also graduated in your class?
Yeah,
School.
different school, yeah, that's right.
Curriculum and instruction report, Mr. Gray.
Yeah, I'll start by saying that school is right around the corner, but we have been gearing up as teaching staff to get things ready for that. And so I'm just looking at the August professional development, and I'm trying to count the numbers. I have 60 different teachers who have been in training within the last week. And so it just shows their dedication. It's off contract, and we do offer a stipend, but still the summer is vacation. And so just really pleased to have them there, ranging from project lead the way to letters, a science of reading training. And so just a lot going on, setting up for the big day tomorrow. I sent you guys college credits count. AP sends the results out in July, so that's why it's a little bit later from the school year. But all told, our figure is we earned 965 college credits last year, not including Heartland Career Center. And so depending on what school you go to, $300 to $600 is not unreasonable to charge for those college credit hours. And so you're talking about $300,000 to $500,000, probably pretty reasonable savings that we offer our students. And those aren't always dual credit. I think we have helped educate our parents and our students to understand the balance of dual credit and AP. They both offer different ways to help prepare kids for school. And so at the bottom of that sheet I shared you, you can see there some kids that we want to draw special recognition to. In order to be an AP scholar, they had to take 3 or more exams and average 3 or more on them. And 3, of course, is what usually gives you college credit. And so you can see there, those 3, 4, 5 kids all took 3 AP exams and got 3 or more on all of them. And so that would essentially be 3 different courses of credit that they've gotten for college. And one there, you can see her perfect score of a 5. And down at the bottom, Kyle Wynn has earned a 3.5 on 5 exams. And so the opportunity to challenge yourself is there for our kids. And again, we feel like that balance is to prepare them for school. That's it.
That's good.
Thank you, Mr. Drake. Okay, so next item under full, new business is public hearing for formal bargaining. We need to open up a public hearing for that. So it's appreciable. Any comments?
This is something that was enacted a few years ago, and we've done this every year, and so it's just one of the protocol that we'll continue to follow.
Okay, we will close the public hearing on the formal bargaining. Next, we have a recommendation to approve the corporate authorization resolution.
Yeah, so I'll speak to that. The bank that we use for Southwood Elementary just needs approval to show that we are changing signees over with the new principal. And so it's a resolution that would approve who the signers are for that bank account.
Any one of the three can sign on that, or?
We have to have two
jointly?
signatures.
Okay.
We have to have two signatures, and any one of the three can make up the two signatures.
I'll motion to approve the resolution to change the signatures.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the corporate authorization resolution. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have no unfinished business. We do have an item under board policy, policy number 3160.
So I will speak to this one, the criminal history information. Each time the legislators make a change, sometimes that creates a change in policy, and so the Indiana School Boards Association helps us to determine what those would be. So this is already in our policy manual, 3160. Just a couple of changes there that are highlighted here. The school corporation is prohibited from hiring or contracting with. That was something that was added to this policy. And then if we scroll down, go down to the other one, the only other thing, all school employees or entities that have contracts for services with the corporation are required by state law to immediately report convictions of certain crimes enumerated in state law, including convictions of attempted crimes listed in law to the corporation. So really, only we added a few words there that are highlighted, and also the Indiana code that goes along with this. So again, this is just the first reading. We could possibly do what we did last time, but we can just do whatever. So yeah, it's up to whatever we're going to do on that.
Under the contracting with adding that, does that mean that if we contract as a general contractor who subcontracts a project and they have somebody who has been convicted of that particular person who can't work on site, or does that disqualify the entire subcontractor? Just that person.
Yeah, we always require background checks.
Yeah, they have background
Any
checks.
vendors that we work with.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Yep.
I was hoping it would be able to disqualify the whole subcontractor.
just that employee.
All right. Okay, we'll bring it back next time. So.
All right, so that's the board policy. We'll read that again next time. Under the next item is public comment for any items. Okay. Any items from board members? Okay. 6:30.